Good evening.
Good evening.
Alrighty, so the title today is Planetary Transition, and you guys ever heard about this transition, this planetary transition? You guys hear anything about that? Yes? You guys heard? Yeah, raise your hand if you hear something. No? Okay. Yeah. Alrighty, a few people did. All right, so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So a lot of people have been mentioned that we are going through this transition. Some of them say there is a consciousness transition, others is a physical transition. So, but there's a lot of information out there. A lot of people are seeing a lot of things. And transition is cycling, is a cycle that a planetary system goes through. But on the mystic or on the spirituality community, they've been talking about that for a couple of decades now. And I brought this topic today so we can understand a little bit what's going on. And as per se, this transition is happening as we speak, as right now. And some of them say that we're going from third density to fifth density. Others saying that we're going from third density to fourth density, okay? So in Spiritism, we study those densities, those dimensions a lot. And we know that the third density, that's the third density that we are right now, is the density of serving, right? You're here to learn how to serve, to act, and to understand what is unconditional love. The fourth dimension is when you understand unconditional love, and you practice unconditional love. And that's the reason why when you communicate with mentors of from the spiritual world, it's all about love, always about love, because they are on this density, fourth density. And we are going into that. I don't think that we jump into fourth. This is my way of thinking, and that's what Spiritism tells us and other things tell us, that we're going from the third to the fourth right now. So it's a consciousness move, right? It will be some change physical on the planet, like always happened, and but it's nothing to be afraid of. There is no end of the world coming. There is no end of this and of that and so on and so forth. None of that. I believe so. I think everything is on a slow pace, as everything in nature is. Nature do not jump, and it respects the process. So for us to start talking about this topic, we need to understand our planet, okay? And I don't know the knowledge that you guys have related to planetary systems, but we're going to stay here a little bit only on our planet, okay? And our planet, you can call our planet a living being because it feeds from the other living beings. That is us, nature, plants, insects, everything is connected and it's in a cycle of corroboration between every living thing. So sometimes when the energy, let's put it this way, or the vibration that we are putting out in our planet are not so positive, the planet suffer with this energy because it does not, how can I say, it does not, we don't supply the right amount of energy to maintain the engine of this planet, to maintain the nature of this planet. And that's the reason why every time something happens huge in our planet negatively, all of a sudden we all get together, right? And then the vibration of the planet changes. The vibration changes because people get together because they are afraid of something and they see other people suffering, and they get together to help each other, and they release this energy, this good energy that can contribute to fix our planetary system, to fix our weather, to fix whatever that is wrong right now. And it is easy to understand that. Every time you see a hurricane happen, or a sand shower, or something that is very powerful coming from nature, it always goes to locations. And you need to understand the location where these things are going and happening. And if you see it, the location, you see is because it goes where it is more needed, because the vibration, that location, are too negative. And it needs to have a change of the environment. And that's why this nature stuff is pulled into those locations. It's very common in Brazil, for example, after Carnival. You're going to see this in 2 weeks. Carnival in Brazil is 2 weeks? In 2 weeks? Yeah. Watch. I've been watching for a few years. When somebody told me that 20 years ago, and then watching it, it is true. Every time after the Carnival in Brazil, and in the cities that have Carnival, what happens in the city? Heavy rain comes down. Heavy, heavy rain, right? It's just to clean out a little bit the vibration of the togetherness of the, everything that happened there. That's nature, right? That's the planet, that's the system, contracting or trying to equilibrate to the energy on that location, all right? So this planetary transition has a lot to do with us. Okay, so a lot of people think that our planet is going to a bad place. It's going to a bad way because of wars and this and this and that. But we need to actually change a little bit our point of view and see things, even in wars in different locations of this planet, we need to see as a positive way instead of releasing negativity when we are observing and trying to judge things that we do not understand. Our planet, like I say, it's a living being, and is a combination, is an exchange of energy between us and everything here and the planet. So we depend of this planet for our process of progress as a spirit. This is our home. This is the tool that we have, just like our body. Everybody here believes that you have a soul. Everybody believe it, right? So you have a soul. You don't have a soul, I'm sorry. You are the soul. The body is just the tool that the soul uses to interact with this dimension. Okay? And as soon as we go to a different dimension, or different, when you die, for example, who here already talked to a dead person? Raise your hand. No? Okay. So when you talk to somebody that already passed, and when you see somebody that already passed, when you're a medium, because everyone is a medium, and if you work to be able to become a medium, you're going to be able to do exactly the same thing. It's not a privilege of some. Everybody has it. Mediumship is an organic process. It's on your body. So you just need to, how can I say, evolve that, amplify that. And there is ways to do it, and that's what we do. That's why we have mediumship meetings and this and that. But when you see a spirit or talking to a spirit, example, you see that that spirit didn't change their personality. It talks the same way, is exactly the same way. Especially if it's fresh, when they left here very soon, and you talk to them, it's still the same thing. Clothes, glasses, the way they think, everything is the same thing, because they left this physical body and went to another physical body. We have several of those that we call perispirit. So your conscious, let's put it this way, died here, and then you move to another body that is the same vibration or higher vibration. That depends how you lived your life. So you have several of those bodies. And that's why when you see a spirit, you see as a spirit as a person normal, and you can touch it. And when it's materialized, you can touch it. You can measure the blood pressure. You can do everything when they materialize. You can even take a piece of their clothes. All right? Those experiments has been done for hundreds of years here on the planet, especially in England, with the guy who invented the X-ray. He did a lot of experiments in England, and with the spirit, with his wife who was a medium, and he used to materialize the spirit, and the spirit lived with them for 3 weeks, materializing there. So Kate King is the name, and the inventor of the X-ray, it's, what's his name again? The British scientist, forgot the name, but he has a book with the pictures with everything. So he used to wait it out, the spirit, he used to take blood pressure, he used to do everything as an experiment. He did not follow up because he was a scientist, and they threatened him, with disbar him from his scientist's license if he continued doing those nonsense things. So he stopped it because he didn't want to lose. Huh? No, he's a British scientist, and one of the Fox sisters in the United States went to live with him for 7 months. When it's what's his name? Oh my God! I'll remember and I'll tell you guys, and then you can Google it, and you're going to see the pictures of Kate King materializing everything else. So it doesn't change. It does not change. You don't go to heaven, hell, whatever. You don't become angels. It's you. And you take your personality with you, right? And this interaction on this planet here, when we are living beings, the reason why we are here is to progress our consciousness into understanding who we really are. To take the belief that we are this body. We are not this body. Okay? So we are here on this process. But this process has become very difficult for us because when we incarnated here, we bring with us the personality. And what is the personality? You know what the personality is? You guys understand what it is? It is a character. But do you know how you build this personality? Do you know how you build this character? You guys know? It's through memories. Through memories. Okay? So I'm going to go here. So if you guys want to move here, I don't know, but here. So I'm going to put a box here. And I'm going to put BS here. But it's not BS of BS, it's belief system. So you have inside of you this box with your belief system. Okay? And this belief system creates your thoughts. Okay? All your thoughts that you think today, it comes from this belief system. Okay? And this belief system, okay, is created by your memories. Okay? Everything that you live until now create the belief system. And the belief system, every time you think something, it comes from your belief system. But this belief system is not you. It's not your soul. Because the soul is the divine part. Right? The body is what? The tool. Okay? So but when you incarnated here, you come from the incarnation process. As you started creating this belief system, you started identify yourself. Instead of identify yourself as an eternal divine being, the soul, or the spirit, let's call the spirit, right? You start identify as yourself as this body. And then this here gets gelled somewhere. Your spirit, yourself, gets on a gel, gets locked out, and you no longer use this as soon as this belief system is starting to grow on you and you're getting older. Now, as you grow older, after 9, 10, 11 years old, everything that you do in your life is checked in here. Your judgments, your choices, your thoughts, your fear, everything, it comes from here. Because you, as a spirit, no longer is acting as a divine being. Because if you are acting as a divine being, there was no judgment, there was no negativity, there was no lying, there was none of that. Okay? Because this is pure and complete. This is divine. Okay? So everything is coming from this belief system. And then what happened? You die, right? Everybody dies. You die. And then you reincarnate again. Exactly the same way was in a past life. Nothing changes. The only thing that changes is your name, the place you're going to be born, okay? And then you already come with this, some of this belief system, and then you start creating another one with this new life. And you bring some of it back. And then you are on this cycle for hundreds and hundreds, thousands of years. No changing, like a hamster inside a circle. There is no process of progress here. And then there is these transformations that happen on the planet, that we move, the conscious moves, right? But those cycles is around 75,000 years. Okay? And this cycle just ended for us. We're on the end of this cycle. And when these cycles are close to end, energy, let's put it this way, I'm not going to go into there, we're starting receiving more positive energy from other places to help us get out of this cycle. But how we going to get out of this cycle? If you study mediumship, if you study reincarnation, you're going to see that Brian Weiss has a book about past lives. And if you read that book, you're going to see that, you're going to confirm this. But we don't need that book because we have thousands of books here that tells us the same thing. Tell us the same thing. But so, what are we doing here then? What are we doing here? Do you believe that death is going to come to you and everything is going to end? And you're no longer going to exist? Raise your hand if you believe in that. Nobody believes in that? You believe that it's going to end everything? No. You believe, everybody believes that it's going to be a continuation? Right? Do you guys believe in reincarnation? Reincarnation makes sense to you guys? Yeah. It does? Okay. So as the study of reincarnation shows to us, there is no change in our human race. Zero. Zero. Because we are on this cycle. Why? Because we live our life not as this here, but we live upon our belief system. Okay? So what is going to make us progress is what? Go ahead, answer. What's going to make you progress?
We're going to change our beliefs, right? Changing our beliefs.
You need to, exactly, you need to do something here. If this is what's directing you, because you don't live your life as you today. You live your life as your belief system. Because if I tell you, what's your name? Your name. What is your name? What is your name? Yeah, ¿cómo se llamas? José. José Sueli, right? Cara, Luide. This is our personalities. If I come to Jose and say, Jose, you know that the planet Earth is flat, right? You're going to check against what? Your belief system. And you're going to say, oh my God, this guy's crazy. Right? Yeah, crazy. So this is an example. I don't believe the planet is flat, okay? I'm just doing an example here, people. So you're going to check against your belief system and say, oh my, this guy is BS. You're going to listen to me because you are a nice guy, you have compassion of me, but you're going to turn around and say, my God, that guy's a wackadoo. And you're going to continue in your belief system, right? If I tell you that you were a woman in a past life, right? You're going to look at me and say, if you don't believe in reincarnation, you're going to say, oh my God, this guy is crazy. After I die, nothing's going to happen. Right? Because you're going to check against what? This here. Now, if you bypass this here, where are you going to check? Here. This is going to be your source of information, the Spirit. And then it's going to give you the answer, the real answer. Okay? Go ahead. What?
So I know in this room everyone believes in reincarnation, but for example, like people watching online or people that aren't here present that believe everything will finish, how would you explain that process better to have them believe in the reincarnation?
Well, there is no way to process. You need to respect their beliefs. You need to believe. You cannot force belief, because a person only going to change. I'm going to get to that. You're only going to bypass this here. How? If you ask questions. Listen, my belief system is that the planet is round. What if he's right and the planet is flat? That's all you need to do. You need to question your belief system. That's it. As soon as you question your belief system, this is not right, and this is not right, this is not wrong, this is not wrong. You eliminate both options. You kept yourself open. What if it's a triangle? Understood? And nobody does that. No one does that. And that's the reason why no one listens to no one. Ever. Ever. We have example of masters coming to this planet and doing wonderful things, and we're still here on this cycle. Why? Did we listen? No. We saw the examples. Did we apply in ourselves? No. Why? Because this is what's control you. And the worst thing, this has a defense system also called the ego.
That would be good. That's the controller.
This is the defense system of the BS. And it's very hard to bypass your ego. Now imagine to destroy this here, to eliminate this here complete. Yes.
So that would be like dying.
Huh?
Eliminate the belief system would be like dying.
No.
Without anything.
No, you're not dying.
For the ego.
Oh, yes. Yes.
So it's not protecting it.
Yes, because this guy here feeds the ego. Okay? Because everybody thought that the thought will come from here, from the spirit. You're going to read a lot of books in here saying that, but it's not. Because how can a divine part? Because you thought, check yourself, is always in two locations. Or on the past, or on the future. Never on the present. So it never can come from something that is perfect. Because if your thoughts are in the future, it means anxiety. If you pass in the past, it means depression and fear. And nothing negative can come from here. So thoughts don't come from here. Come from here. The belief system. Right? I know it's tough. But when you're in the present, then you are connected right here. So you look at the masters in the world, they are always on the present. They did wonders here on our planet. Because they are us here. If you're in the present, you're in the course of the entire universe. So you have access to everything. You can do anything. But you're always here and here. Check yourself. Sit down at driver's license office and do not use your phone. Sit down there and start looking around and then observe your thoughts. There's going to be a lot in the past, few in the future, if you are more a past person. Or if you are more future person, there's going to be a lot in the future and some in the past. But you're never in the present.
Go to the bank.
Yeah. You need to start looking at yourself. Okay? So, you see this, right? And you understand this, but we don't live like that. We live in here. Okay? And that's the reason why a lot of people out there is saying that this planet transition is external. Something's going to happen with the planet. Something's going to come from outside to help us. It won't. It won't. Because we are used to put our responsibility in an external. Oh, I'm going to put in God's hands. You ever heard that phrase before? Many times, right? So, instead of what? And the other way for you to get in here and start weakening this here, it's to know yourself. And as soon as you know yourself, you're gonna understand a very famous phrase of Socrates. As soon as you know yourself, you're gonna understand that you don't know nothing. Nothing. And as soon as you come to that you don't know nothing, you're not here or not here. You are open to accept everything that comes. Because when you have doubts, you are open to new things. When you are positive, sure of things, you are locked down. You don't move forward or back. You're stuck. Because you're short of everything. Because your belief system. And then when you try to do a little move towards this, the ego comes in and says, oh, look. Why are you doing this? And then sends fear. What if you wrong, right? When you're trying to be successful in life, and you say, oh my God, what if I'm not successful? What people is going to think about me? When you're ready to do a step forward, take a decision, this come here interferes with the thought and say, listen, what if you fail? Everybody's going to laugh at you. Everybody's going to look at you and this and that. And then what you do? You don't do it. Because the ego creates what? Fear. Because ego don't like change. Let's stay the way it is. Right? And then, for you to know yourself is to observe yourself every time this activates and agitates every time. It's like a software that runs in the background. Who here understands computers? So, software, computers. We have two types of software on a computer. The software and the software that runs the hardware. Okay?
Operating system.
Yes, there's the operating system and the hardware and the software that runs the hardware. So the non-physical connects to what's the physical. So we call that the hardware software. We call that, my goodness, is the, and this is my job, and I'm forgetting the name. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, so as soon as the communication of the internet comes into the network card, there is a software that translates that into the hardware for the hardware to understand. It calls the, oh, God. Anyway, so this BS here is the software that is running behind everything, maintaining everything. It's already automated. When you leave the computer there, it checks for updates and do this and reboots and does that. Right? And that's how you live. Run by the software here. Every time somebody comes in, right, you walk in the street, right, and you think you're not a racist person. You walk in the street 11 o'clock at night and you see a person with a black person on this side of the street, and then check yourself when this happens. You start feeling fear. What should I do, my God? But if you ask if you are racist, everybody says, no, I'm not a racist. But because they don't check, they don't identify themselves. As soon as they see that, they look around and say, oh my God, am I by myself on the same street? This black guy, my God, if he's going to do something to me. Check yourself when you see that. Now, if he was a blonde with the blue eyes, you're going to fix your head and this and that, you know? And you go straight in. That's how it is.
Valid.
Huh?
Valid.
So, we don't check ourselves. But what is it? The racism is not coming from here. It's coming from here. Because your memories show that a black person is a violent person. Right? Or something that you don't believe on it, or a Chinese, or a Russian, or a Brazilian, or this, or a Muslim, or whatever it is. As soon as you have that embedded here, as soon as you see that person, the belief system is going to bring from the memory, oh, it's violent. And then you're going to act commanded by this software to do what? Fear first, of course, and then cross the street. And that's how everybody lives in this planet. Everybody. Everybody. Not a single one person on this planet. Okay? I'm not talking about the yogis in India because I think they're the only ones that are not in this vibe. But everyone is in some different level and some different belief system. And that's why we fight with a friend because of politics. We fight with a friend because of sports. We fight with our friends because of religion. Because all is coming from here. All this crappy things are coming from here. Because on a higher level, none of this exists. Politics, sports, religion, none of this exists on this level. The only thing that exists on this level here, it's oneness, is equality, it's love, it's compassion here. But we never access that. Never. We only access it when we are in peril, when we are in trouble, when you're needing something. And then you recluse yourself in some place and you pray deeply because you want help. You bypass this here. And then you go here. And then you feel good. And then you feel who you are. Then you shut off the software. You're no longer a robot. You're now the oneness of the universe. You are now the divine part of the universe. You are now God. But how often this happens? So this transition that we are seeing today, okay, it's because a few people on this planet are here. And it's pulling everybody else with them. And then we need to be aware there, so this process is faster. Instead of 10 pulling the wagon, let's put 1,000. And that's right, those process happens here. So you can start knowing yourself, start observing yourself, you start asking the question, say, listen, I'm not fear. I'm not. Fear doesn't come from what I am. I'm not a racist person because I know that everybody is equal. Everybody came from the same source and everybody is the same source. I don't like to hate because if I hate somebody, it's because I'm hating myself, because that myself is me and vice versa. That's what you need to start producing today, immediately. Crashing this here. Crashing the belief system. Because everything, 100% that you believe is not. 100% that you believe. 100% that you know today, it is not.
Yeah, the first lesson in A Course in Miracles is nothing in this room means anything.
Yes. Wonderful book. That everybody should eat it. Okay, The Course in Miracles. Not read it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but 50 times. That book.
Which one?
The Course in Miracles.
The workbook is the part that has the...
Yeah.
You could read the book, but the workbook is what I was talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about because there's exercise, there's 365 exercises per day. So it's a wonderful book. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And that's what I'm talking about. These little people that started bringing these new ideas right now, and it's shaking up the world a little bit. If you read that book, you're going to say, oh my God, what was the Wakadu who wrote this? Because it's out there. Something that is not here. But if you're not open to it, you're going to start reading the book and say, oh my God, what a crap. Right? But if you are open, if you're not here or here, if you're here, you're going to read it and you say, oh my God, this is a possibility. And then you read something else because it's going to take you to the next step when you do that. And you read, oh my God, better than A Course in Miracles. It's also a possibility. And then another step. See? Yes.
Was that the book we were gonna?
Yes. Yes. So, this transition that we're going to go through right now is nothing exterior. It's in here. And we need to do it. So, in 1966, Martin Luther King gave us the blueprint in his speech. He was talking for the black people in America when he become a doctor. Don't become a black doctor. Become a doctor. Don't put names into that. Don't feel insufficient. Don't feel small. Don't feel that you're not good enough. Understand that you are fulfilled. Understand that you don't need anything else. You already have everything. Believe in yourself 100%. That you are not small or bigger than anybody. This was the first step that he gave us on the blueprint. And the second one was, when you do something, do with excellency. Put all your focus on it. Why? So you get out of the past and the future and stay in the present. And when you're doing this second step here, do not focus on the result. Focus on the path that you are giving everything that you have. It does not matter the result. It doesn't. Because you don't need the result. You already have everything. So you need to stay in the present and enjoy the journey. Because when we enjoy the journey, you are connecting, you are respecting, you are forgiving, you are benevolent, you are this and this, that. Now, if you are focused on a result, my God, if I don't get that, what people is going to think about me? If I'm not a champion, if I failed, how am I going to look at my family? Because families are like this. What you're going to be when you grow up? Look at those questions. Ask a 10-year-old that. What school are you going? What are you deciding to do? Stupid questions. Because they're identifying the individuality as the body. But it's not. A spirit that has everything, it does not matter what school he goes. Or what he's going to do, because he's not the job that he's going to practice. The job is just a job. It's not the school that he's going to go or the diploma that he has, because 500 years from now, who cares about that diploma? And that's what we need to focus. That's what he said. The blueprint, wonderful speech from Martin Luther King. And the book that we're studying right now on the Wednesday at 7 o'clock is going to mention the same thing, exactly the same way he said it in 1966. I know people keep thinking, oh, Luide, you crazy. Who's going to do that? Right? Who's going to do that? I don't know. One thing I have to say, but anyone can. You might think it's hard. It is hard. It is hard. Because your software is making hard. Because you are in an automated process. So for you, the first step to make this thing easier, get out of the automated process. Okay? Get out of the routine. Start looking yourself first. Know yourself. When you walk in the street alone and you see somebody and you feel fear, and you say, why am I feeling fear? If he has done nothing to me yet. The guy is 100 meters away from me. Why am I fearing this person? Why am I judging this person? for the acts that she's doing it? You need to start asking those questions. It's easy, isn't it? Or no? So you stop for a millisecond and say, why did I judge that guy? And then it comes, because you feel inferior to him. Simple. You only judge because two things. You feel inferior and you want to be him, or you feel superior. Okay? And if you feel superior, it's because you're just like him. Judgment is like this. There's no way around it. So if you start making those small steps, you see the difference that it's going to make in your life. But it needs to start. Everybody has their own path to go. It is. Okay? But connecting to good things, it makes the path easier. Much easier. So start asking the question. Start observing yourself. Why did I feel fear? Why did I feel anxiety? Why I felt depression? Okay? Why I'm judging? Why I'm lying? Why I'm not able to go to a person and say, listen, I know you don't like me, but why you don't like me? Did I did something to you? And the person's going to say, oh, because one day you went by me and didn't say good morning. That happens a lot. Happens a lot. Or if it's that person that saw somebody went by and didn't say good morning, you should say, okay, maybe she didn't see me. But next time I see her, I'm just going to jump in front of her and say hello. See how easy it is? But no. Where we go back? We go back to the belief system. And then when you walk by, the person doesn't say nothing, and they say, oh my God, look at that person. She thinks she's better than me. Or she doesn't like me. It's always in this path. But we are incapable of the questioning what we are feeling. Okay? So the thoughts is the language of the belief system. The feelings, the sentiment, is the language of the body. And the language of the spirit is what? Silence. Because when you silence, there is no judgment, there is no nothing, there is no comparison, there is none of this. You're just open. You want to stay out here for what? For progress, right? As intelligent principle of this universe, we're here to run a process of progress. So let's do something about it. Okay, because you are exactly the same person when you were born to now. Nothing transformed on you. It changed. We are not looking for changes. We are looking for transformation. Because once you transform into this, there is no way back. But changes are always like this. One day you're like here, another day down here. We are looking for transformation. And the path of transformation is to question this and eliminate this. Because it's all come from memories. Come from your parents, from your school, from your friends, from society, from all things that are not eternal or divine. Things that are just things. Any questions? No? Thank you very much for your attention for tonight.
Thank you so much for such an enlightening lecture. That was a lot to take in, but it's good information for us to remember the importance of questioning our own beliefs. While the system is resetting itself, there'll be some announcements for tonight. Hey, Yonata, while they're bringing it up, I'll just give you my announcements from memory then. So every Wednesday, we have our public meeting here tonight, and we have letters from the beyond. So if you didn't take the opportunity tonight, if you come a little bit early, you can request a letter from the spirit world, and you can get your letter after the meeting. But you must be in person for that letter. You cannot request it like on behalf of someone who is not here. It sounds like it is. No, it's not. It sounds like it's, I thought it was.